He spoke her true name. The spear in her hands trembled. You died in my arms, but I buried you. The battlefield of Ravenmoor Vale was soaked in ash and memory. High winds stirred the burnt banners of a war long since ended, and above the blackened hills a lone woman stood, spear in hand, cloak fluttering like a wounded flag. Her name was Elira Vael, the spear-born of the Crimson Order, once known as a godslayer of Terran's Fall, a legend, a ghost, a soldier who had buried every friend she'd ever trusted, including him, Kaelen Idris. Her heart beat the name even as her mind refused to speak it. He died 10 years ago in her arms, wounded by cursed steel during the Siege of Aeyrith Keep. She'd buried him herself beneath the ironroot tree, wrapped in their order's colors. And yet, Elira, the voice echoed like a prayer caught in a storm. Her spear trembled in her grip. No one else knew her true name. She turned, and there he stood, alive. The man before her wore the same face she remembered, scar beneath the left eye, storm-colored gaze, hair like tarnished gold. But his armor bore no sigil. His aura felt wrong, and in the center of his chest, beneath blackened leather, pulsed a strange blue light. Kalin, her voice cracked. You. I remember dying, he said, voice thick with pain. I remember your tears, your arms, but I never reached the veil. He took a step closer. Her spear rose instinctively. You're dead, she whispered. I was. Then how? He looked down. I don't know, only that I woke up in darkness. And someone was waiting. They stood in silence, the wind keening through rusted blades stuck in the earth. Then Kaelen reached out a hand. Elira, you know me. Feel it. Tell me if I lie. She hesitated. Her grip loosened. And then she dropped her spear. She stepped forward and placed a trembling hand to his chest. His heartbeat was there, but not quite right. Faster. Off rhythm. Echoed. You're not entirely human, she whispered. No, he said. They brought me back. Not as a gift, as a weapon. Who? He looked to the east, toward the fallen mountains of Nerethkar. They call themselves the Idrolith, ancient things, feeding on war. They resurrected me to hunt what remains of us, of you. You were sent to kill me, she said, backing away. I was, he admitted, but when they spoke your name, I remembered. I broke free. And now I'm hunted too. Elira, retrieve your spear. You died in my arms, she said slowly. I buried you. I lit the pyre. I remember the smell of smoke and lilac. So do I. Then what are you? I don't know, but I feel me. My soul fights whatever they place inside. It's why I came to find you. To do what? To ask if you believe I can still be saved. Elira's heart waged war against her mind. She had loved him once, deeply, enough to die beside him. But the world had changed. The Idrolith had risen. Magic had shattered. The Crimson Order was gone. Only she remained. Come with me, she said finally. We'll go to the Oracle of Emwyrar. If your soul still burns, she'll see it. They traveled together through the ruins of shattered kingdoms, hunted by shadows Kaelen called the Whisperborn, phantoms that bled into reality, sent by the Idrolith. More than once, Elira watched Kaelen falter, his hands twitching, his voice fading, his eyes glowing faint blue in moments of rage. Yet he never harmed her. One night, as they camped beneath a rain-worn shrine, he whispered, "If I turn, kill me." She said nothing. At the oracle's gate, they were met with blades. The ancient seers had seen Kaelin's aura in their visions and deemed him a corruption, but Elira stood between them and him. "He remembers his death," she cried. "He remembers me. If he were only a puppet, would he run to me and ask for truth? The oracle herself descended. She was older than dust. Her voice was wind. Her eyes stars. Let him kneel. Kalin did, and she placed a crystal sphere to his chest. Moments passed. Then the oracle wept. Half-light, she whispered. He is bound by two fires. One of love, one of darkness. He can be saved, but only by the one who held him at the end. Elira stepped forward. What must I do? Burn what brought him back. Return him to death, and call him back yourself. By name, fully, willingly. If I fail, he will remain and fall, forever. They traveled to Nerethkar. The fortress of the Idrolith pulsed like a wound in the world. The sky above it bent inwards. Time stuttered. Inside, horrors waited. Forgotten gods, machines made of memory, things that whispered names Elira had never spoken aloud. Kaelin's body fought against itself. The light within him flickered between blue and red. At the core, they found the resurrection engine, a throne of bone and crystal, with hundreds of names carved into its frame. Kaelin's was at the top. Elira raised her spear. He stopped her. Wait. Tears welled in his eyes. If this ends me, thank you for remembering me when no one else did. She kissed his forehead and drove the spear through the throne. Kaelin collapsed. The room shook. The Idolith howled in every tongue ever spoken. Elira fell beside him, clutching his hand. His pulse was fading. Don't leave, she whispered. He looked at her, barely breathing. Say it, he mouthed. Kaelen Idris, she said. I call you, by name, as you were, as you are. Return to me, not as weapon, not as echo, but as the man I buried and still love. She pressed her forehead to his, and the world broke. Light exploded from his chest. The blue fire vanished, and for one terrible moment, nothing. Then, a gasp. His eyes opened, golden, alive. Elira, he said. She cried into his arms. You died in my arms. I know, but I buried you, and now you brought me back.